If you're working as a health, fitness, or a wellness professional, it's pretty likely that you're going to run into clients that are having a hard time with their body healing, rebuilding, or repairing properly. So in this video, I want to help you understand how important digestion is for your client's ability to rebuild, repair, and renew their body. Let's jump in.
TC Hale is not a doctor and does not claim to be a doctor or licensed in any type of medical field. Don't be an idiot and use anything heard on the show as medical advice. This information should be used for educational purposes only, and you should contact your doctor for any medical advice. Now get off me.
And if you want to dig deeper into any of this, I'll put some links to some studies in the description below this video so you can dig into those a little bit. But when we're looking at helping clients rebuild, repair, kind of renew the body, we need to understand that to do that process, there's a lot of factors involved, but the body also needs tools. It's not just going to work by magic. And really important are amino acids and collagen. And the body needs amino acids to be able to make collagen, and collagen is used to repair, damaged tissues and such. And amino acids are basically like the building blocks of pretty much everything in the body. It's like the tools that the body uses to put things back together. And we access these things when we're consuming proteins. And the body also needs a lot of vitamins and minerals, like zinc is involved in that collagen creating process. And zinc is also very important for the immune system to function correctly. And remember that part of that rebuilding or healing process is the immune system taking care of any microorganisms that have showed up. If there's some kind of cut or something, now these tissues are weakened and they're more susceptible to some type of infection. That's why we see infections on cuts and such like that. So the immune system comes to clean that up, and that's stage one. And then stage two is the repairing of those structures. So zinc is very important in a wide variety of ways like that. Vitamin A is also needed to stimulate collagen production. Iron is needed to kind of transport oxygen to that tissue so that it can be repaired. Vitamin C is used in pretty much every repair and rebuilding process that the body goes into, as well as a lot of immune system processes. And vitamin D and calcium can be really important to kind of allow the immune system to know that there's a problem in the first place. And we'll talk about that more in a second. But when we're looking at all of these tools, these don't just show up. The stork doesn't bring these. We need to access all of these minerals and vitamins and things from the food that we're consuming. And in order to access these nutrients, the body has to be able to break down the food that we're eating. So when we're looking at problems with clients, we're going to be looking at malfunctions in that digestive process that can restrict that from happening. One of the biggest ones is going to be a lack of stomach acid. It's very common for a client not to be making enough stomach acid. Millions of clients are turning off stomach acid on purpose on a daily basis. But even without using some type of acid reflux medication or something, there's a lot of reasons that a person would not be able to make enough stomach acid. So if someone can't make enough stomach acid, now we can't acidify those proteins so that we can break them down to access these amino acids. So if someone can't acidify their stomach correctly, they're going to have a much harder time accessing the needed tools to rebuild and repair. Another big thing is that it's really common for someone's bile in the gallbladder to become too thick and sticky to flow correctly. And now that bile is not going to come down here into the duodenum to help us emulsify or break down our dietary fats. We need to be able to emulsify those dietary fats to be able to access fat-soluble vitamins. Fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A and D and E and K, those are very important as well. Also, this bile coming here also has the ability to help neutralize the acids as they leave the stomach and trigger other activities like from the pancreas to send this bicarb out that helps neutralize acids, as well as enzymes that help us break our food down further so we can access more of these nutrients. So a lot of times if somebody doesn't have one of these things working, that whole system won't work, where all those things come together and kind of create this sizzle of these opposite pHs colliding with one another, and really helps us bust the food apart and get all those nutrients out of that food. So if a person can just break their food down a little bit, they might be able to get some nutrients out, but they're going to start creating some deficiencies in these areas over time when digestion is not working optimally. Also, this stomach acid not only helps us acidify that food and break down proteins into amino acids, it's also the barrier that keeps all the bad guys out that are coming in on the food that we're eating. So if someone doesn't have enough stomach acid, it greatly elevates their chance of creating some type of bacterial overgrowth, either here in the stomach, where the bacteria really shouldn't be, or in the small intestine, where we shouldn't have a lot of bacteria. Most of our bacteria should be here in the large intestine, and that good gut flora helps us break down foods even more and access nutrients that are harder for us to get at because they can break those down better than we can. But if there's an overgrowth in this area where it shouldn't be, now the immune system needs to put attention towards trying to get rid of this invader and taking care of that problem. Now, a lot of the efforts of the immune system are dealing with some type of burden, so it's preoccupied, and a lot of these nutrients like zinc and vitamin C and a lot of these things can get used up trying to deal with some type of infection, and now there's not enough of those resources left over to help the body rebuild and repair. So that can become a very big problem. So it can become very important to fix any of these malfunctions in the digestive process to allow the body to get the nutrients it needs so the client can rebuild, repair, and renew the way that it's supposed to. Now, if you don't know how to help clients fix digestion, my book, Health Pro Results, chapters 3 and 4, kind of walk you through helping clients figure out which aspects of digestion are not working correctly and steps they can take to improve those. And the book is available on Amazon, but I'll put a link in the description below so you can get the whole thing totally for free, and then you can just jump to chapters 3 and 4 to learn how to do that. And if you're a consumer that just happened upon this video because you like the topic, we'll put a link in the description below to get my book, Kick Your Fat in the Nuts, for free, and chapters 3 and 4 kind of go through that similar topic. It's just more written for consumers, where the Health Pro Results book is really written for health professionals. So even just looking at the tools that the body needs to be able to rebuild and heal things that have been damaged, you can see how important the digestive process is. But there's a lot of other things that go into this, like this vitamin D and calcium kind of helping to trigger the immune system to know when there's a problem. So I have another video where I go into a little more depth into other aspects that need to work correctly to be able to heal things that have been damaged. Things like, a catabolic imbalance that can restrict the body from moving into that state where it rebuilds and repairs. Things where sugar going too high can restrict the immune system and the repair system from working correctly. So if you want to dig a little bit deeper into those topics, you can jump over right now into our much bigger consumer channel for our video on slow wound healing. I can't wait to hear about your results.